One of the biggest challenges facing the beef industry every day is building and maintaining consumer demand for beef. And that job gets tougher as lower supplies drive the cost of beef higher and as consumer tastes change. So how's beef doing in the consumer marketplace? We have insight from Cattleman to Cattleman reporter Russell Nemitz.
Whether at home or in a restaurant, beef is still one of the top food choices for consumers.
Something like 80% of all Americans are going to have beef products sometime in the next 2-week period in their home, inside their home. It's a very large number. This is a meat-eating country. We're going to eat meat. The question is how frequently and how are we going to use that meat?
When it comes to what consumers are eating, you won't find anyone with more background and knowledge than Harry Balzer, an expert on food and diet trends who spoke at the 2013 Cattle Industry Summer Conference. The most important thing he wanted the crowd to know is that ground beef is still the most popular product in the retail beef line.
It's the number one thing that consumers like about beef is their consumption of ground beef. So I kind of hope that they see that and they think about this, and that the things that are most important to consumers is how are we providing that product in a new way to consumers, because we're always looking for novel ways of feeding ourselves.
Tastes are constantly changing, so new product development is important to help keep up with an evolving marketplace. Balzer says consumers are not just watching their dollars, they also want convenient, easy meals.
Trust me on this, all the consumers are looking for is a reason to consume it. They're not looking for a reason not to consume it. It's not that we don't want to cook, we cook a lot. We don't want to cook more. We're looking at how to get out of this or how to make this process easier. And don't think of it just as a cooking process, think of it the cleanup process, the purchasing, the storage process, as well as the eating process. Any one of those, if you can make life easier or less expensive, I'll be moving toward you. In the end, you have to show me that you've made my life easier or you've made my food cost cheaper. Those will be the real drivers in how we change our habits, the time and the money, the values that you can measure.
Balzer also stresses that the beef industry should pay special attention to the millennial generation. It's a group that is passionate about what they eat and will be driving demand for years to come.
They want new things. I don't think there's ever a time when an 18 to 34-year-old young adult didn't want new things. They don't want to be like their parents. They'll end up like their parents, but they don't want to think they're going to be like their parents. So why you need to focus on them is because they're the ones making the decision about how the household is going to be living over the next 20 years. And they're a big group, so you cannot ignore them. So it's appropriate to be looking at the millennials right now.
Reporting from Denver, I'm Russell Nemitz for NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman.